This is the Fawley York City Rowing Club on the Berkshire Station against Lea Rowing Club on the Buck Station. To the right of your picture, Lea Rowing Club there. And no real incident of note at the start, so let's join the action live a bit further down the water, and you can see there that Lea Rowing Club on the Buck Station have just nudged ahead of York City, but not by very much.
And 24 boats in the main draw of this race, 16 of them still racing today. And we watched York City yesterday win a close race over the whole course. York took the lead from the start, and as they say, they never relinquished it. So York will be sitting down at this point. I umpired their race yesterday and watching them carefully. You saw that they were moving the boat well, and really did get that. But look at here now, the Lea, the men in orange. There is a real efficiency about this. There's not a lot of movement at the finish for this boat, but they're picking up the catch nicely and really driving it through with their legs, and you can see how that's lifting the shell of their boat, and it's just moving them away. They've got a nice high loose rate there, really flat strokes and a leg driven stroke.
Like any elite sporting performance, it looks almost effortless. I know it's anything but the way they're doing this, it looks very calm, doesn't it? And economic with movement, which is always a good sign from Lea Rowing Club here. There they are in the picture, shifting along the boat well. This is Harry Fletcher in the bow seat, to the right of your picture there. Theo Grandorge. Got Dupree's Purvis, and Sam O'Connor is in the stroke seat for Lea Rowing Club.
And again, unexceptionally for this year, none of these athletes have raced down this course today before this regatta. So the Lea will be delighted, I think, to be making sure that they get there. They've represented GB before, 3 of the men in J16 and the GB France match, so they've worn the white and the yellow and the red of the England vest, but now they're wearing orange of Lea.
And it looks like they'll move on through the rounds. So we've gone past the midway point in the race. Bank getting a little bit more congested. Still a few umbrellas up, but hardy souls out there enjoying the early action. They're racing through until 7:20 this evening here at Henley Regatta, as they did last night. So it's quite a late finish. I reckon it'll be far more crowded later on. This was the hour where rain was anticipated, and they have duly delivered. The weather forecast is spot on. We have got steady rain now here at Henley, but it's due to clear up after 10 o'clock, and we shouldn't see any more rain for the rest of the day. Not going to be particularly warm compared to some parts of Europe at the moment, at least.
Yeah, definitely. And looking there, you can see how they are managing their boat really nicely. That gap in the booms that sometimes, and certainly later on today, you can really get impacted by the wash. But there they are, really looking magnificent. That leg-driven stroke working really, really well. And here on this side, the York City Rowing Club still holding in there. They're rate high, they're pushing their boat with the leg. You can see the boat moving around a little bit throughout the stroke, which is interesting. Again, perhaps that water's getting a little bit lively out there. Perhaps the rudder's being twitched a tiny bit by the steers man in the 2 seat to ensure they stay on their side. York City able to watch all that, to manage this race, and just really quick, loose, efficient rowing. Not much of a finish that this crew are using. They're just opening their backs, finishing neatly in front of their bodies.
Nicely done. It's quad in the junior event, the Fawley Challenge Cup. A couple more strokes and they'll be home and hosed. Over the line they go now. Well done to Lea Rowing Club on the Buck Station. Celebrating. And it's York City Rowing Club second in that heat, and out of this Henley Regatta they go.